Yes, sir. Yeah, it's kind of like the when Ford bought the Jaguar, huh?
Yeah.
They turned it into a Taurus.
Well, and they first tried to put turbohydramatics in them, which was a great leap, marrying it to the Jaguar engines. But, yeah, at any rate.
Anyways, moving on. There was an article a few months back about China wanting to take delivery of their gold. Am I stating that correctly?
Yeah, that was back in October.
Has anything been updated on that? Are they still looking for it, or
No.
are they still in London trying to find it, or what's going on?
It was transferred, and then we had obviously the tungsten story developed from that. So,
Well, where are we at now? I think the question is.
Yeah.
Yeah, where
Well,
we?
I mean, how long are they going to play
the
footsie
tungsten
with
bars were sent back. Everybody shut up, and they were given good delivery. That's what happened, and that's why you can't get any information on it.
Because they're satisfied they got their goods, and it wasn't hijacked by some Somali pirate, evidently.
Yeah,
right.
I just wondered how long they were going to play footsie with us, no pun intended.
Yeah,
But,
now they have their central banks, they have their depository set up in Hong Kong now.
yeah, that was quite an interesting deal. I wanted to switch gears on the whole revolution thing because, quite frankly, I agree with Bob in that the military is going to be the only organization that's going to be able to actually be cohesive enough to create some kind of a revolution, to some kind of a coup, because the same thing that made the country great, which was our individuality, is the same thing that's going to be our downfall. Because if you look around, Americans themselves are very individualistic. They don't if you really think about it, how many people really even know their neighbor?
Well, we have gone through a transformation in this country. Thank God we're not where the English are right now, where they have the bureaucrats running around charging you and fining you if your hedge or your fence is too high because they consider that to be antisocial. Look, there are reasons why we have become antisocial with each other, and it's human nature. When things get a little bit too dicey and a little bit too confusing, people have a tendency to drop back to their strongest base, and that's what they have been doing. Mm-hmm. And politically, there have been a whole different kind of paradigm shift in this country, one towards socialism or communistic or the commutarian idea. And this has got people confused. We have left our political base in this country, and that used to be the lawful base of the Constitution, which most people believed in. Now they're starting to figure out that they're not playing by that game. Now everybody is confused. Everybody is broke. We are leaderless. We are rudderless in this country. We have no leadership. Have we seen any leadership of any sort to do anybody, one single soul in this country, talking about you and I, do any good? No, we have not.
No.
Yeah. So it is going to be rather divisive. People, when this whole thing blows up and the dust starts to settle, people will reconnect with the things that are true and things that they really do believe in. Right now, it's just chaotic, and it's being mixed up and stirred by the politicians and the press and, you name it. But
well, one thing I've seen in this country is, and one thing I strongly advise people to do, is take your TV set and take it out back and just get a sledgehammer and smash it. Because the one thing that, when I was growing up, I grew up in a small rural community. The neighbors used to come by. We used to sit on the front porch and talk until the TV came along. When the TV came along, now when you walk by houses, all you see is that glow in the living room, and everybody's mesmerized and sitting in front of the idiot box.
Yeah, and we're now sitting there and watching reality shows when reality was our lives before the advent of television. Isn't that strange?
It is, and that is exactly what's dividing us, because we're being fed. Not only are we being divided, but we're being fed the propaganda, and this.
Look, be honest about this, Isaac. We have become what the imaginers, the visionaries of Wall Street, and more importantly, Madison Avenue. If you ask people what it is to be an American anymore, they've been metropolitanized, balkanized, propagandized, and all these other different mechanisms. They don't know who in hell they are anymore.
And nobody can think. I mean, I'm looking at the blogs on this whole false flag, underwear bomber, crotch bomber, whatever you want to call him. And the whole thing, I mean, even if you read the mainstream media BS, the whole thing stinks to high heaven.
Doesn't it ever?
And I look at the blogs afterwards, and everybody's like, we need to kill them Yemen people. We need to go in and take that country. We should have killed them a long time ago. It's like, okay,
You're
so
right.
we kill Yemen.
They
and
don't have the ability to think anymore, Isaac.
They don't.
Not.
They're totally mesmerized, totally dumbed down, fluoride-induced comas that they're in. That they just don't understand anything, and it's really sad. I mean, because I go on the blogs and I say, look, this was a false flag event. This, look at the evidence. The guy had a handler who was escorting him on the plane, and everybody comes back, oh, you must be one of them there communist terrorists. It's like, oh my
these
God.
Take heart, Isaac. Take heart, because these are going to be the useless eaters that are going to be of no effect when the time comes. So. I'm not worried about these people. They have been left to their own devices, and that's idiotdom. I mean, it's just flat out brainless, mimicking and regurgitating what they're hearing on the boob tube. And I agree with you. By the way, you've been now designated to be the first national TV smasher, but you better leave something in its place. Drugs or something.
If you want to have real fun with those blogs out there, just try and bring up the subject that the screeners at the Amsterdam airport is run by an Israeli company.
Go figure. Morrison in New York. We're running out of time here. Hello, Morrison.
Hello.
Hi.
You there?
Yep.
Yeah, good evening, gentlemen. John, you were mentioning about the amalgamation of military and police before.
Yes.
I'm an ex-Marine myself. I did the same thing as Bob Chapman. We can leave it at that.
Okay.
Now, if I see some punk in a Darth Vader costume coming my way, I can pick him out. Here's the real problem. Have you guys heard of InfraGard?
InfraGard.
Yep.
Robbie, what have you heard?
Okay, Robbie, you've heard of it.
Oh, sure. The Snitch
Network. Tell us what it is.
The Snitch Network.
Try 350 of the Fortune 500 companies who have been enlisted by the FBI, not only to snitch, but according to this article, because I listen to John Moore every Sunday, and I've been following this government contingency thing where they're moving to Denver. But anyway, right here's the headline. 1996-2008, FBI uses InfraGard to train private citizens to cooperate with government, potentially enforce martial law. Some of the things, and these guys are hiding in plain sight. You can just put in InfraGard, and they have the website right up there.
By the way, I don't know if I don't know if it was last week's edition of Jesse Ventura's conspiracy theory on True TV, but he did a whole program on InfraGard.
By the way, hang on 1 second, Morrison. We didn't do the Bob Chapman deal, and it's a screaming deal. Gold prices are down. Robbie, shoot that real quick.
British sovereigns, brilliant uncirculated, 0.2354 ounces of pure gold, $315 a piece, substantially cheaper than our competition at Goldline, who's selling them for $545. If you order 20 or more, you will receive a free subscription to the International Forecaster. And rather than costing you $10,500 like they charge you at Goldline, we only charge $6,300 for 20.
$6,300, and that's delivered a subscription, year subscription, International Forecaster. If you've got one, give it to a friend, and you get the, of course, the Republic Broadcasting mug. Morrison, I wish you would have called a little bit earlier. I
just wish that RBN listeners and you guys would spread the word about this, because it's like I said, they're hiding in plain sight. These guys will actually, if there's an imminent terrorist threat, these guys will be notified before Congress, and also the FBI is giving them shoot to kill authorization in the event of martial law. They're going to come after.
We didn't even get around to the Interpol having carte blanche in this country. We'll continue this discussion next Tuesday. Gentlemen, thank you. Thank you, Bob, and thank you, Robbie.
You're welcome, and thank everybody for listening.